Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 11 of the Visuals by Leo Studio podcast. It's me and my lovely co-host, Mr. Sergio, and we have a very special episode today. We have an amazing filmmaking creative that is inspiring both of us, and we hope to learn as much as we can from this episode. Today, I introduce to you, Cory.
It's a pleasure to be here, you guys.
What's up, Cory?
What is up, Sergio?
I'm so happy you're here, man. I know that you inspire a lot of people, and one story that I know that like this is how impactful you are is you called me out for a gig to work with you, and you told me that there was some guy all the way from Northern California in San Francisco willing to come to just work with you, and it was a small gig, and you're like, hey man, you know what? Maybe on the next big one, but I appreciate it. And it's funny because I feel like 99% of your followers would do the same. I know I would. If I was all the way up there and you had a gig, I would drive all the way down here just to be around you. So I appreciate you being here, man, and giving us your time.
It's a pleasure. Love doing interviews, and whatever questions you guys have, I'm all yours.
I love it. Can I zoom in with the quick? All right, so I've seen some of your work on socials, bro. Mm-hmm. You have, not only is it good looking, a lot of filmmakers have good looking content, like common color palettes like teal orange and things like that. What I like about your stuff is that not only is it good looking, it's very unique. It's a one-on-one feel. I feel like you kind of have your own path that you've been going down for so long that you've developed a look that no one else could develop because you'd have to go through every single decision, step, experience you've gone through to achieve this type of perspective. My question for you is, I'm sure that there were times in your life as a filmmaker where you felt like you could be doing something else. Maybe you saw the guys that got into sales or selling cars or whatever they're doing, they're making money, and you're like, I'm a filmmaker, I love what I do, they're doing it, I'm kind of late in life, maybe, I don't know. But what was it that made you stick to this path so long to allow you to develop this kind of specific, unique taste of yours?
Well, ever since as far back as I can remember, I always had interest in filmmaking. It was just a passion of mine when I was a kid. You know, my dad always said, do something that makes you happy, but also do something that makes you money. So if you make a decent living out of it and it makes you happy at the same time, it's the perfect combination of both. So with that being said, as I grew up, as I delved into filmmaking more, I did go to school for it. I did get a few opportunities after school, but the industry was slow. You know, it wasn't as like busy as it is now. That was probably back in like 2011. So the industry's changed substantially. There's a lot more opportunities than there used to be. But during that time, I actually got into doing creative work for a call center. And so I would see kind of firsthand what it was like to make money, but not doing what I love, so to speak. Like doing a little creative work, but it wasn't the industry I wanted to be in. Who wants to work at a call center, right? So with that being said, I started branching off by myself. I started my own production company. It didn't happen overnight, obviously. It took some time, maybe a year, 2 years for it to fully get rolling. But during that time, when I started my production company, I actually was delivering pizzas because I had to have some source of income. You know, you can't rely 100% on yourself for the full-time income. So while I transitioned from pizza deliveries to filmmaking, that's what I had to do to make money to get by. So to answer your question, yeah, haven't always done the filmmaking. It's not, you know, had to do other stuff, whatever I could to survive. Yeah.
Of that. Yeah. But you never let go of filmmaking.
Never.
Well, what was it that made you not let go? What was that? What is it about filmmaking that makes you not let go of it?
It just makes me happy. It doesn't feel like a job to me. You know, of course, there's some days where it feels like more work than others, but at the same time, it's so rewarding. You feel so good, like accomplishing videos and making clients happy. So I think in a way, it just makes me so happy doing it. It's always been a passion of mine. So I just can't see myself doing anything else but that.
I'm sure one of your favorite directors, Steven Spielberg, right? I mean, we talk about it a lot.
Steven Spielberg,
Yes.
Martin Scorsese, James Cameron, 3 top favorite directors.
Awesome. I
Yeah.
love him.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg talked about how he loves being able to control like the emotions that people feel when people watch their films. Is there something that kind of inspires you in that way when you do finish and you're filming something that you kind of want to be able to, you know, show to the people that are watching it, like have them react in a certain way?
Absolutely. You know, I think it's all about capturing a feeling. Visually, everything's eye candy for people these days. But if you can tell a proper story and leave the audience with that kind of the chills, so to speak, and give them kind of a feeling, if I can watch some of my own work and give myself that feeling, then I think I've done something right.
That's incredible. Cory, was there anybody that is a filmmaker like yourself, a freelance filmmaker, that maybe when things weren't going the best for you, you were inspired by and you saw their success and you're like,
I know it's so cliche, but I'm sure you guys have heard of Sam Kolder. He's an amazing filmmaker, and believe it or not, I've been doing production a lot longer than he has. However, he broke into the industry at a very unique time, and he kind of developed a niche that I had never seen before, a style of filmmaking, quick transitions, fast cuts, but elegant, clean, that style that nobody had seen before. So kind of when I was at my template phase with my projects, when I was just autopilot, delivering videos, editing the same way, I thought, you know what, maybe it's time to learn some new techniques. So I started watching Sam's videos and instantly got inspired by his stuff. And I thought to myself, maybe I should take what he's doing, his style, and incorporate that into my own work. So I was very inspired by him. God, I want to say that was back in like 2018, 2019, I started seeing his work.
wow.
Yeah.
And I do want to ask, was there ever a time that you felt like things got so tight? And I ask this to everybody, to be honest, because I'm always trying to prepare for the struggle, and whether it be for myself or the audience. Was there ever a time where you felt like, all right, I can't do this anymore? Like I'm gonna have to drop this thing that I'm so passionate about.
Absolutely. I mean, I would say about five years into my career, give or take, this is expected. We have slow time periods of the year. So when you hit those slow time periods like January, February, everybody's just starting the new year. There's not a lot of business going on. If you don't have a little cushion put away, some, money, something to save, you're going to be hurting. And then that's when you're going to start thinking about everything a lot and thinking to yourself, maybe I can't do this. Maybe I need to get a part-time job. So at that time, I mean, I haven't even told anybody this, but I started doing flower deliveries during that time.
Wow.
Because at that time, I knew somebody who worked at a flower shop. So I thought to myself, hey, why not do a little of this on the side? And then that only lasted for about 3 weeks. And then business started picking up again. And then I went right back to the filmmaking. And then I'm like, you know what? Not doing that again. I'm sticking with this.
I love that. I just want to make one comment. I love what you said. I love that you said that how you analyzed why we feel that way. And I feel like a lot of filmmakers don't understand that their emotions are not coming from reality. They're coming from a situation they've put themselves in. Like he said, not having a nest egg, not saving money, being sometimes overly ambitious with credit and just going over the top. And that's why a lot of people quit, because they put themselves in a financial chokehold and they start to feel like it's the filmmaking that's not right. Well, you chose a freelancing job. There are seasons, things go up and down. And if you're not prepared for those moments, you're going to feel like you made a mistake. You're going to feel like you're in the wrong industry. And I have a lot of friends that are in mortgage, and they always say that mortgage is just it's a patience game. It's not necessarily how good you're on the phone. It's just you're going to make a lot of money in 3 or 4 months, and you're going to make no money for 6 months. If you can't train yourself and you don't have the discipline to learn from your mistakes and start saving money for those 6 months and not spend like a rich person for those 3 months, you're not gonna make it in mortgage.
It's so true. I mean, I was even bad about that years ago. I wouldn't save money. I was so bad with my finances. I mean, I'm not going to lie. My account went to zero so many times, and like I saw the worst of the worst. But now, I mean, my bank account hasn't been hurting for the past 5 years. Everything's just up from now. And I think that's all a void of confidence, being confident in your own work, confident in your sales, just confident with your clients and the way you present yourself. I think that's so important.
How do you feel now that you bit the bullet in those hard times? You didn't quit. You did something that, like delivering flowers, you might feel like that maybe not was the best thing, but what that says to me is that I'm not going to do something else. I'm going to do anything I can that is maybe like a little bit of an accessory route from where I'm going, but ultimately it's going to lead back to this path. I'm not going to go get a high-paying job that will require me to spend all my time and let go of what I'm trying to pursue. How do you feel now that you bit the bullet, you kept going, you were patient, you persevered through the hard times, as opposed to someone who would have went the traditional route to make money 10, 15 years ago? How do you compare your life to that alternative life you could have been in?
Oh my God. It was the best choice I could have possibly made. I mean, all avenues in life lead you in some direction to where you are today. So you choose one path in life, it's going to take you somewhere else. You choose that path, it's going to take you somewhere different. So I chose the path to stick with my career in filmmaking. And I mean, in other words, it's paid off. You know, I'm kind of at a place in my career now where everything feels easier than it ever has been. I'm working a lot, but I'm not working as hard as when I first started my business. I feel like I have a quality of life now that after working so hard all these years that I can finally not chill a little bit, but kind of like relax and not have to worry about things as much as I used to. So like you said, it pays off in the long run, and eventually hard work is going to lead you to good things.
And do you feel like you got there because you've I guess maybe mastered is not the right word, or maybe it is, mastered your process in creating, you know, the videos that you need to make from the beginning to the end, which is filming, editing, and then sending it? Do you feel like that's the reason why you feel like you can just chill a little bit more?
Absolutely. Well, the clientele that I have now is a lot different than how it used to be. I mean, I used to have, you know, ma and pa clients, and now I have corporate clients. So in regards to that, those corporate clients have bigger budgets. They give you projects that they trust you with. So in regards to that, I'm not just producing videos, I'm managing projects as well. So I've come to that level now where I actually like have my own clients, but I also have my own projects, and I'm not like having to do all the work. I can have people work for me and help me carry the load with that work. Picture it like a conveyor belt. You want to keep that conveyor belt moving forward. You don't want it to slow down. The second it slows down, your career slows down. So I'm just constantly trying to keep it moving forward.
That's great.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I see all the time, so my mentors taught me, try to do, like when you do photography or anything, like try to do something where people look at your work and they say, how did they do that? Now, I look at yours and I say that with the biggest capital letters ever. How did he? And then I love that you also post like a video of all the editing, the software, the Premiere, all the timeline. Yeah, exactly. And I'm watching, I'm like, still don't know how he's doing it. Like, it's just insane. How long, or like how long did it take you to kind of develop this kind of style to be able to do this so like just so clean? It looks like chaos. And I comment all the time, dude, your timeline gives me anxiety, but I love what it produces. It's just amazing. How long did that kind of like develop?
You know, it's funny you say that because my timelines have always been crazy. Even years ago when I was doing TV, I did TV shows. I worked for a production company and I was editing these TV shows, and they're 22-minute shows. So you would imagine the timelines get pretty substantial, especially when you start adding sound design and all that stuff. So my timelines have always been kind of crazy, but recently in the last couple of years, sound design is so important for these videos. So not only the editing, but just the overlaying of all these layers of sound and the ambience. You got one for, you know, chirping birds, you got one for the ocean, you got one for the ambience. So, you know, I just start doing these timelines and I picture it like a rabbit hole. You know, you're just going down the rabbit hole, and when do you want to dig yourself out of it and be done with it? I mean, you could spend forever working on a project if you want to, or you can spend a couple hours working on it. It's just up to you. So once I feel satisfied with the video, it's done.
Yeah. Leo, so I've had the honor of working side by side him, right? And you know, sometimes when you work with somebody, you kind of like see them work and you go, okay, I see kind of what he's doing. Cory is a magician. You watch him work, you don't know exactly what's about to happen, and then he does the trick and you're like, oh my gosh, this was incredible. I seen him work. I question, I'm like, what is he gonna do? This is kind of like, I just don't know, right? I'm just looking at it. I'm like, I don't know how he's going to pull this one off. And he'll pull it off. He'll show me a video. I'm like, this is incredible. I didn't even think this would like be possible. And so it's really cool to see you be able to do those tricks, man. Like I love watching it and being able to see that firsthand. Again, I just appreciate just being able to work next to you, man. So yeah, for all the invites, thank you.
Absolutely. Well, you know what makes it so fun is that every project I do is different. You know, I'm never doing one type of production. There's so many niche production people these days that do just weddings or just real estate. And yeah, I love doing that kind of stuff. Not weddings. I'm steering away from weddings. Sorry,
leave
Sergio.
those to me. No,
yeah,
leave those to me, Cory. Thank you.
If anybody is a wedding guy, I pass them along to you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
But in regards to the production stuff, I'm always in a different location, doing something different. And I think that's what makes it so much fun, is you're always switching it up. You're always doing something different.
Yeah. And I mean, going into that, is there a location that you haven't tapped into that you probably like would love to go and do some kind of work?
I mean, from day one since I was born, I love movies and I would love to be working on movies, but I would love to be doing my own movies. I don't want to be sitting on a set up in Hollywood, working my way up the ladder. I want to do my own creative vision, direct, write, produce, have my own cast and crew, all that stuff. So that's the only niche we haven't tapped into yet. We have produced a short film. It hasn't been picked up yet for distribution. We are currently trying to get it picked up. Time will tell if we do. So
can you give us a little insight of what it is, that film?
Yeah. So the Canyon, it's actually written and directed by Alex Sosin. He is my partner on it. I produced, edited, and did all the cinematography for it. And it's a retro horror film that takes place in the 1970s. Vietnam veterans go into the woods with their girlfriends and weird stuff starts happening. Can't really spoil it or tell you too much from there, but it's awesome. It pays good tribute to like Blair Witch, Picnic at Hanging Rock, Deliverance, kind of those old school retro horror movies. So we're really excited about it. Hopefully it gets picked up. You never know. It's a really hard industry to get a movie picked up these days.
Yeah. And now that you're working with like corporate people, where's the craziest place they've taken you?
I've been to like the craziest Midwest states you could possibly think of, like places you really don't want to go, like Kansas, Idaho. I mean, in one summer, it was actually last summer, my buddy and he came with me and did the production. We traveled from Michigan, Illinois, Wisconsin. I mean, we went all across the Midwest and I never thought I would ever visit those states, Yeah. It's not the place I would typically visit, but it was interesting.
I mean, and I've seen you in helicopters filming and doing all this crazy stuff. Is there anything like out of the ordinary that you've done with camera that, I don't know, skydiving while filming? I don't know, something crazy?
Well, I would like to go skydiving. I mean, the helicopter is great. I mean, my favorite production shoot I did was one of my favorites was Sky Space LA. They have a rooftop. It's actually the US Bank Tower in LA. It's like that famous building you've seen in movies, Independence Day.
Yeah.
Anyway, we did a production up there with acro yoga people. It took about 6 months to plan it out, to get clearance from the building, get my crew up there. I had got my buddy, he was flying in a helicopter filming while we were up there. So we had to plan this. It was all timing. But there was one moment when we were doing this production and I looked out and I'm like, I felt like we're in a movie right now. This feels like a Hollywood movie we're doing right now. Yeah. So that's one of my favorite locations we went to for sure.
In LA.
Yeah, rooftop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Brother, I do want to ask, as a creative, like you said, creativity, creating films, seeing, like Sergio said, seeing a vision that no one else sees and bringing it to life, that gives you a kick, that gives you a dopamine spike, that it makes you happy, right? What is, and this might not necessarily even be a paid shoot. It might not be like a crazy thing that anyone has seen, but what is a project, a filmmaking experience you've had that just really hit all your spots? Like it just made you so excited, so inspired, and you felt like, this is why I do this.
Man, that's a tough question because I've done like hundreds of productions.
Yeah.
So it's like thinking about all these experiences. It was probably in the early phases of my career, maybe in like 2016. We did this music video shoot for this girl. She was young at the time. She was only about, I think like 15 or 16 years old, but she was so talented. She's like a young Taylor Swift. So we did her music video. It was a big production shoot. We were filming for about 3 or 4 days, different locations, studio, LA. She was really happy with the production, obviously. She got to know my buddy Cyrus and I, and she liked working with us. But by the time she saw the music video, her and her mom, they cried. They both shed tears and they were like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is so beautiful, you guys. Oh my God, I can't believe my daughter is looking like a star. You guys really made my daughter look like a star. And I just looked at their faces and I was like, wow, I made them so happy with this production. And at that point, I felt fulfilled. I'm like, we did something different, like, yeah, we've made clients happy before, but we actually made somebody shed a tear because they're so happy with the work we produced for them. So that was a big deal. I remember when that happened, I was like, wow. I looked at my buddy and like, we really made them happy. Yeah.
That's huge, man. Yeah. That's huge. Leaving an impact on people, especially like for me, I'm still at a point in my career where the impact is surprise. I do provide an element of surprise when they see the video. I provide excitement. I provide memories. But that is a peak moment I'm looking forward to where that, she sees her daughter to be a star. She has the skill set. Maybe they're still in the imposter syndrome phase of like, is she gonna make it? Is she not? Is she just like another girl? We don't really know. And for that moment, they're like, okay, wait a second, she's a star. Like, and it's because of the way you guys put it all together. And I love that we I said this in the previous episode. Every artist, when they speak about what they do and how it benefits humanity and people think that they're exaggerating or being salesy, or like if you talk to like, we just had a hair salon owner and they were talking about how a good haircut can change your life. I, as a filmmaker, can say a good wedding film can have a very powerful impact on your marriage. You can, for example, describe that peak moment that you had and say that, maybe she became a star because I instilled the confidence in her. A lot of people listening to us speak about the effect our art has, if you don't know the nuance and the intricacy and how the complexity of what you do, you might not necessarily believe it, or you think someone's exaggerating. But this is all to lead up to my next question, which is, you're starting to see a lot of artists come up. The barrier to entry into filmmaking is just right next to the ground. Like, you can, with your phone, start making videos nowadays. And I don't want to go into the direction of like shaming anybody, and I know you would never do that, but I actually want to know, what is it that you're seeing with people that are entering into the world of creating films, whether it be on their phone or a camera, that you think they're doing wrong?
What do I think they're doing wrong?
Yeah. What is something that you think that people that jump into the field of filmmaking in the beginning, what is one common mistake that you see newbies fall into?
Not thinking about the story, focusing too much on the editing. It's too fast paced. I mean, we're in a day and age of social media. People have attention span of a child. They're scrolling on their phone all day. There's so much content to take in on a daily basis. So unless you're having your video stand out quickly, they're just going to skip ahead. So I think these young, talented people who are getting into filmmaking have the mindset of thinking, well, I'm just going to create a fast paced video, wild edits, crazy techniques, and that's going to sell it. No, it's all about the story. It's always been about the story since we were kids. It's still about the story now. And I think we're actually going to go back to that soon. I think videos are going to get played out the way they're going now with this fast ADD style editing. And they're going to go back to the basics of the narrative, how you feel when you watch a video, not just like how many layers of sound can I add? How many cuts can I make? That's what these young filmmakers are doing. They're just pursuing it the wrong way. And I think they need to think more of the fresh approach of like watching a movie and just, thinking to themselves, how can I tell a good story here, rather than making a cool edit?
I love that. Yeah, I feel like I definitely got lost into the technical stuff, and I wanted just volume. Like, look at how good I am at editing is the message I was trying to,
of course,
to send. And now it's shifting into, no, look at how this is going to make you feel. And I definitely see the progression of that unfolding in my personal journey, and I think that's so cool. How do you feel about AI, brother?
It's scary. I was just telling my friend yesterday, we need to stay away from this technology because it's going to steal our jobs. I mean, not now, but in a couple years. There's no telling how things are going to go, because thinking to myself, like, you can recreate a scene in AI, but does it look natural and give you that feeling like you would if somebody actually filmed it? I mean, the technology is going to increase and it's getting really scary. So there's just no telling how it's going to go in the future. However, I love ChatGPT. Oh my God, I use it for everything, for my emails, correspondence. I mean, I communicate with some people internationally that may not understand the English language as much. So I feel like if I just put it in ChatGPT, it like summarizes everything and makes it sound more clear for the average international person that doesn't understand English. So I think that's where it really comes into play.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And Sergio, how did you meet Cory?
Again, I just followed him on Instagram. I don't know, my algorithm, somehow I saw maybe a video of his, and then I just, again, love his work. So I just started following him. And then one day he posted that he was looking for a photographer, and I took a chance. Again, that's what life is, right? I just took a chance. I'm like, he's not going to see this. He has too many people that are interested as well. And I sent him, I responded to it. He saw my message, responded to me, gave me a good feedback about my work, and then pretty much trusted me with the job. And then I met him in person. And then from there, it's just like, my job when I got there is not only to make the client happy, but to make Cory look good in the sense that like he referred me. So now I have a job to make sure that I keep my level at the highest. so that the client trusts Cory whenever he brings anybody else to a job. And the client was happy. They brought me back. Cory keeps bringing me back and hiring me for other things. And that's how our relationship has been built right now. Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Oh, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And he invites me to go watch movies because he knows that I love movies. See, here's the thing. My friends, all my friends that watch know that I love movies, right? So I thought I was. Then I met Cory. Cory's that next level movie fanatic.
Okay.
He'll tell me the director. He'll tell me the actors. He'll tell me like the style. And I'm like, oh man, I got to keep up. Like I got to learn more. I got to study more.
I'm like a movie nerd.
Yeah, and I love it. And he invites me and whenever I do have time, man, I'll show up and we'll go watch a movie, man.
That's dope, man. What a cool relationship. And what do you look for when you're hiring somebody to on a project? What is...
I mean, of course, the work speaks for itself. If they have a good demo reel, if they have good photography like Sergio, of course, like, you know, that's a no-brainer. But a good attitude goes a long way. If you have good quality work, but you have a crappy attitude on set, I don't want to work with you anymore. I've worked with people like that, actually, who are like really talented, but they just are like not having a good time on set. And it's like, okay, I don't expect you to have a good time while you're doing this, but at least have a smile on your face, positive attitude. So I think like that's what goes a long way with me. Just a good attitude. Yeah.
Absolutely. What's on the horizon for you, brother? What's the next step?
Oh my God, so much stuff right now. I mean, where do I even start? I mean, I guess we can talk about it now because by the time this podcast is released, my campaign will be released. But I told Sergio that I'm currently doing a campaign with Infinity Automobile.
Crazy.
So I'm doing a whole thing for this next year with them. It's all about my family and I traveling across California, taking the car to different locations, showing off the features. So they're going to be using us for a whole social media campaign with advertising for the next year. So it's really exciting. The car's amazing. I'm really excited about the opportunity. I just finished a big documentary. A big one. It celebrates 100 years of water in Laguna Beach, California, going back to the early days where early pioneers come to Laguna, digging pipes in the ground, finding whatever water sources they could. Oh my God, it was a huge project. I learned so much about the history of Laguna. So we just finished the documentary. We premiered it actually at the theater in Laguna Beach, the Rivian Theater, and I had overwhelmingly good feedback from everybody. So now with that documentary, we're going to be taking that to other film festivals. It's going to be seen in front of a lot of people. There's so many other projects, you guys. I mean, if you want to know more, I can tell you, but that's just like off the top of my head, two big projects that I'm working on right now.
Incredible, brother. What's your Instagram, brother?
Sparkuhl Films, Sparkuhl_films.
Sparkuhl_films.
Yeah, we've been posting every day on there. Sometimes I miss a day or two, but hey, I always keep it fresh for you guys. I always want to make sure it's like brand new content, something you haven't seen before, and something different than you saw the day before.
Yeah. So I know you do have like a lot of followers and stuff, but when was it that you it kind of like it changed the game for you? Like like for example, and I hate to bring about me, but when I was doing my YouTube, there was one video that kind of like blew up everything, and then a lot of people started following me. And I was like, okay, now I found my niche. This is what I'm gonna do. Do you remember that moment where it happened for you, where social media just blew up and you're like, all right, now I have like this responsibility. Let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, no, right after COVID, around 2021, I saw my profile really kicking up a notch. Once Reels came into play, because you guys probably were aware it was just photos and videos a long time ago. But then once Reels came into play, like actual cropped vertical videos, that's when things started changing. So I experimented, I posted a few videos, and I kind of like started figuring out what the audience wants to see. And so from then on, I just went full throttle, started posting different videos every day. I already had so much content, I had so much drone footage and travel stuff that I'm like, you know what, why don't I start putting together some reels of this? And I noticed it started taking off right away. And then I had one video, it was your favorite, Sergio, a wedding video behind the scenes versus the final shot.
Okay.
Went viral. It got about 6 million views.
Oh my
and
God.
I must have got like 30 or 40,000 followers just from that video alone. And it's so funny because I'm not even doing weddings anymore, but yet the most viral video I've had is a wedding BTS versus the final shot. So yeah, just kind of figuring out what the audience wants. And I have a great analogy for that. I tell Sergio this, picture it like your audience is hungry and you're feeding them every day, but you want to feed them something different every day. You don't want to feed them the same food every day. So instead of feeding them the same food every day, I'm feeding them something different every day.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he told me that, it changed the game with my posting as well. I always felt like I always feel like I'm bothering people. So it's like I try to keep it within the wedding, scene. And then as soon as he told me that, I think that's when like my whole posting idea, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to post everything that I'm doing, whether it's the podcast, shooting with you, all the other projects that we've done together. And it's been really good just being able to see other people enjoy all the other stuff that we do as well. And I think that's good, smart to kind of feed. You don't want to eat chicken and rice every single day, do you?
I'm trying to, bro. But no, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Well, Cory, thank you so much for coming, brother. It's definitely an honor meeting you.
I can't believe our time's already up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that
There's
crazy?
like hundreds of more questions you guys could ask me.
Absolutely. But we're definitely going to have you on again.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for coming.
It's been a pleasure, you guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Cory.
you.
Appreciate your time, man.